Okay, so here are our three big stories for today. So the first is this. Ukrainian officers are investigating the holding award ceremony where Russia struck the soldiers. About 20 died. I've seen reports of 20. I've seen 22. President Zelensky lamented the deaths of the men of the 28th Separate Mountain Assault Brigade as tragedy that could have been avoided. It really could have been avoided. I talked about this yesterday, but I'm talking about this because I'm comparing it to the next story. The next story is this, the Daily Beast. This is, and by the way, I read the Daily Beast as well as Fox News, and you should do the same thing too to get multiple perspectives. Putin unleashes a record bombing in Ukraine as the world watches in Gaza. So the focus is all on Gaza. In the meantime, Russia is just bombing the snot out of Ukraine. The Ukraine International Affairs Ministry on Monday morning said Russia dropped at least 87 aerial bombs on populated areas of the Kherson region, largest number for all time. At least 8 people were also injured in other Russian strikes carried out in Odessa region further to the west on Sunday night. 4 high-rise buildings in Kherson city were damaged. And the first strikes on Sunday evening. Around 9 p.m. on Sunday, another barrage using drones and missiles began in the Black Sea port city of Odessa. As a result, 20 apartment buildings, an art museum, and more than 24 cars and infrastructure were damaged. Okay, so that's what happened. And an art museum? Really? Here's Kyiv's deeply outraged over the attack on Odessa's National Art Museum. And this is what it looks like afterwards. And on November 6th, the Odessa National Art Museum turns 124 years old. On the eve of November 6th, the Russians congratulated our architectural monument by a missile that hit nearby. Now, if you were an alien and you were looking at this, you came down from outer space and you landed somewhere in Ukraine and you were watching, and one side is trying to sink a ship and the other side is trying to bomb apartment buildings and hitting an art museum, what would you think? I mean, at least I don't like that this happened here the other day, that they killed the soldiers because they were too close to the front line in the award ceremony. At least that's a legitimate target. But hitting 20 residential buildings, that just seems like, what's going on? Okay, now the third story is this. It's a non-story. It's a story that I couldn't find, like the Askold. We could find all kinds of things in the media, but then when I looked at Pravda, silence. When I looked at TASS, the last time they talked about the Askold was in 2021 when they were getting ready to launch it. And when I looked at RT, nothing. There's nothing here about the Askold. You couldn't find it there. You couldn't find it in videos in RT. There was nothing there. So why is RT unwilling to talk about what happened to the rocket attack on the Askold? If you can find it, let me know. But I just find that to be a very interesting story in and of itself. Okay, those are my 3 big stories. Thank you for your time, your attention, likes, shares, and subscribes. I'll be back tomorrow. I hope you will be too. Thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.